Alright, gang, welcome back to our Broke to Billionaire Challenge on Ohio Richlands. You join me. It is now actively April. You can see I'm actively in the process of doing the headland pass here in our field that needs to be re-drilled. And we're putting canola back in. We're going to keep this field, the canola field, I think, for the foreseeable future at least. One other thing to note, and you probably can tell just by the amount of money that we currently have, I did buy that field we kind of talked about in the last episode, right? Potentially, we were thinking about buying this field. I went ahead and bought it. It is ready to harvest, so we will be harvesting that today as well. So the worker will be doing most of the drilling here on this field. Now, this field will also need to have some herbicide put down on it, and we will take care of that here shortly. But I want to get this field underway before we do that. I think I just drilled part of that field. Whoops. Oh, well. In any case, we're going to get a worker, like I said, going on this. I'm going to do one more headland pass up here just to make sure everything is kosher and there's no issues with going into another field or like I just did there. So, but how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. At the time of this recording, it is, well, it's almost the 4th of July. It's Wednesday night, so it's a little late, but a very happy 4th of July to all of you who are in America. Hopefully you had some nice grilled out food and got to see a nice fireworks display from somewhere. Myself, I went to, well, what used to be one of my bosses at my current job. I went over to their house, and they had a pretty big firework display. Her husband is retired. He used to work at the same company I work for. I work for a very, very tiny company, but he's since retired. And I had worked for her at one point when I first started this company, but I no longer work for her anymore. So just kind of stayed friends, but they pretty much invited anybody who's in our office in the area that I work. So very, very nice people. So it was a good show. It's a good show to go see, last year at least. So we'll see how this year's is. I'm assuming it's going to be the same or better. They always do it pretty big, so we'll get that unloading. There should be plenty in here, though. Yeah, tons and tons of straw in there. We are out of silage. We probably should move some silage over there. But there's tons of straw in there, so we are making some money off of that, which is nice. While the worker's doing that, we're going to jump into our harvester here, gang, and we're going to get going on harvesting our new field. Now, my plans for this field, let me kind of talk it through with you. This little strip here, it's got some trees and stuff on it. We're going to get rid of all those trees on that. And we're basically going to combine this field and this field. They're awkward shaped fields kind of in the middle, but if we combine them together, it'll be a pretty decent sized field. And make it a little bit easier for us since it'll only be one specific crop over there now. Now, other than that, those two things today, I don't know if we'll get to it. But I've mentioned it for a number of times. I'd like to get some sheep going. We've got to mow that grass field. It's been sitting there ready to be mowed for quite a while. We also have the tree lot that we bought that we still have yet to complete, getting rid of all the trees. I'd like to get rid of all those trees too so we can turn that into another field. Now, it will be a very small field in comparison to all the other ones that we currently have, but I think that's okay. We can do some other, maybe we can get root crop or something in there, right? Something smaller. Or maybe potatoes. Who knows? We can do something else in there. Watch out, lady. You're going to get drilled. She just did. She got drilled by the header. Now, I believe this is wheat, if I'm correct. Yes, wheat. Good yield on it. We have plenty of straw. So I'm actually not even going to... Let me flip the menu on real quick. I'm not even going to drop the straw. We're just going to fertilize it in. We're not going to do the straw swath, I should say. We're just going to let it be fertilized into the ground. Now, you might be saying, well, you're wasting money. You could turn that into bales, into silage. You're right, I could. I did not turn it off, clearly. It was already disabled. Oh, I'm a dummy. Well, I can come pick that up, I guess. But anyway, you might be saying, well, you could turn that into straw silage bales. You're right, I could. Maybe I should, but... We're not going to this time. We always do that, so I want to change it up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. So right now it's it's getting ready to, it looks like it is at least, getting ready to rain. I think there's a storm coming, so hopefully I don't lose power, but if there's a jump cut and a little bit of a section missing after I go back and edit it, and you're watching it live right now, and you see that little jump cut and that all of a sudden I'm in a different area, that's the reason why. They lost power or something like that. So, but hopefully none of that occurs. But just wanted to warn you in case that does happen. That's the reason why. So I've been talking about on my other playthroughs, and I like to try to bring it up here. You know, I just want to bring it up on each of my playthroughs at least once, sometimes a couple times, obviously, when it makes sense. But the 200 horsepower challenge will likely be ending soonish. Crustu and Rusty are both actively working on a new challenge. It's not been released yet. They're working on a new one. When that challenge does come out, I'm going to be flipping the 200 horsepower challenge over to that new challenge. I think it just makes sense. I think a lot of people are ending theirs. I know Crustu said he's ending his here relatively soon. And I want to get at least 2 more series going on the channel before the looming FS22 comes out in November. So it's not, it seems like it, but it's really not a whole lot of time if you think about it. At least for this series, I mean, that's 4 episodes, you know, a month that we do. Around that, you know, give or take. Could be less, could be more, depending on how many weeks there are in the month. But for Sunday, at least how many Sundays there are in the month, I should say. But it's really not that much time, and we are nowhere near $1 billion, so we've got to get going. So this series may, as we carry on here and get a little bit later on, it may bump up to twice a week or whatever, just so we make sure we complete our goal here. The biggest problem I'm having right now is I keep buying more fields, but I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to mention it again. I truly believe that's the way that we will succeed and get to $1 billion is by having more fields, more stuff to do. So there's that. The Frugal Millionaire Challenge, we likely, honestly, could finish that challenge in the next week or two pretty easily. The challenge there is to get to $1 million and not have a loan. We do still have a loan, but there's not much there, and it would take us seconds. The money we're making off the wood chips in that series is just astronomical, especially in the winter, right? We've just recently passed that portion of time, so the wood chips are a little bit more realistic, I guess, in how much you make from them, but the game gives you a lot of money for wood chips, right? So I think we could finish that one really quickly if we wanted to, but I don't really want to finish it anytime soon, and what I mean by anytime soon, I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of end of August, maybe. It gives us about 2 months for a little mini-series to come out. You know, something like that. If I'm able to get, 15, 16 episodes done in a mini-series, I think that's good. Leading up to FS22. Similar to what I did with the Gator Challenge, right? The Gator Challenge was 13 episodes. If I'm able to do something similar to that, I'd be pretty happy. I'm just having a lot of fun on the Mazzo challenge right now. The Frugal Millionaire Challenge. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So, even though I could end it pretty quickly, I really don't think I want to just yet, if that makes any sense. I've got a lot of ideas still for that challenge, so a lot of ideas for our farm and things like that. So, all right, we are full there, so we need to go get a trailer. Well, this one works good for me. Let's do this one. Work is doing well. Seems like he's doing what I want, not going crazy. But yeah, that Frugal Millionaire Challenge on Mazzo Gang, it's coming out to be a lot more realistic, the way that the actual farm itself looks than I initially had expected, and I'm really liking the way that it looks. So if you haven't watched that in a while, you might want to go check it out. There's some really cool stuff we're doing in that series right now. Really cool stuff. So I think the farm looks fantastic. We've got a lot of other things we still want to add to it, but it's looking real good. Now, the campaign playthrough, I'm actually a little concerned with it. It's going to go right up to FS22. I know that for a fact, but I'm a little concerned we may not get it done. But we'll have to see how things are going. There's not that many, right? There's the initial 3, and then there's 2, I think, DLC maps, or maybe there might have been 3 DLC maps. I already forget, but regardless, there's not that many months left. There's really not, right? And if we're doing about, 15 to 20 episodes. I mean, we're gonna be getting really close. We're cutting it tight, I guess is what I should say. So we may end up having to have one of the series be a little bit shorter than what we were expecting, like probably Silverwood Forest maybe. Even though I really would like to do that challenge and get the roller coaster done, because I like roller coasters in real life. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it done or not, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. You don't know. I shouldn't be so negative already, but thinking that we won't make it. But we'll just see. I mean, if other series finish, right, I can have 3 episodes a week or something to maybe try to make sure we get there. Whatever. We'll see how things go. But again, the goal is for us to try to get 2 more series out on the channel before FS25 comes out. The one that Crustu and Rusty are working on, the challenge they're working on, and then one other series that I'm going to come up with myself, possibly with some insight and some input from my channel members as well. I always will give them, a little bit of a first dibs on any ideas I may have, because they're paying to be a part of the channel, right? So it's just a bonus that they get. But I've got a lot of ideas in my head. So if one of my ideas does not come to fruition for FS22, it certainly will come to fruition when FS25 comes out. Now, when FS25 comes out, I don't know how many maps are actually going to be out for us to be able to do different things on, right? We may end up having to do a lot of different series on the 3 standard base maps that come out, for at least for a little while, right? Until we get some maps uploaded onto ModHub, right? Oh, that little tree bush right there is right in the way. He has got to go. It's a good thing we're getting rid of all these trees. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how FS25 comes out, and then if there's anything that comes out standard on ModHub for maps or not. But I would expect that it's going to be a bit before any maps are actually out on ModHub and released once it comes out. So we may be stuck with just those 3 maps at the beginning for a little while is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So that would mean that we probably... well, I guess maybe not. We probably could do the first map. I think the American map's the first map. I'm not positive on that, actually, now that I say that. But whatever the first map is, we could probably start maybe the campaign playthrough on that. And then the other 2 maps we could do challenges on for a while, right? And the campaign playthrough this on FS25 would be a little bit more, beefy, a little more bulky than what we're doing now. Because right now we're just trying to speed through them. So there's something out on the channel for them, because I don't have anything out there for them, and I'd like to. So... I also had the idea, and we're just running out of time, right, to kind of go back and play a little bit of some of the old Farming Simulator games. I actually have them all. I have every single one of them. Most of it actually is digital. I'm a little upset that they're digital, but I do have them nonetheless. The first Farming Simulator game I ever played was FS17. It was 17, right? 15, 17, 19? Is that what it was? I think I was right. FS17. A friend of mine got me into it. And then I kind of got the other ones and went back and played the other ones. So, I am right on that, aren't I? Now I got to check. Now I'm concerned that I said the wrong number. It's been a bit since I played them, gang. Obviously. Let's see, FS. Ooh, easy. Yeah, FS17. I was right. Things are going well here, though. We're doing a pretty good job here. We're getting a lot done. I would think the worker's going to be getting pretty close. It may already be done. I may have just missed it. For drilling the field. We're actually going to cut this off a little bit. Now, it might be a little weird and a little unrealistic, but we're going to cut across here. And then work on this section, and then kind of split up the sections, right? Yep, the storm's here. I can hear the thunder in the background, so... if only it was raining in the game, we could make it super realistic, right? Anyway. So, gang, what we'll do here is we'll throw a bit of a time-lapse in here. We're going to get this field done. Then we'll take a look at the other field, see how it's doing. And then we may actually end up just coming over here and re-drilling this field immediately. We'll just see. The actual wood field that I talked about, I think we're going to wait on that because the wood chips aren't best in April. They're best in the winter. They're best in December. So we... Stop. See, start paying attention. Just wasting some crop, gang. So clearly we should have waited, I guess, on doing some of the other things we had to do, because there's no crop withering or anything on this series, and we're not doing seasons. So I guess I should have waited, you know, and got rid of the rest of the trees at that point, but oh well. This series will get to winter again for sure, so we can do it then. And then we've got the sheep, right? So we can put some sheep down, mow some grass potentially today. We'll see, but if we do mow grass, we've got to get a bigger mower than we currently have, which is more money to spend, right? So I don't necessarily think I want to spend any money today, so we may have to wait till the next episode for the sheep, and we may wait to drill this field in the next episode. Who knows? But we'll see how things go, I guess, for the rest of the time here. Wheat is not best to sell until later, so this is all just going to be going into storage right now, gang. And that's the unfortunate part, right? For a little while, we're just going to be stuck with putting some stuff in storage again and not selling it. Which is probably another reason why I might wait on the sheep too, right? Because we've got 81,000, and that's a decent amount, don't get me wrong, but using, you know, workers, they use up our money, and anytime we want to do anything else with multiple workers, it's going to eat up our money, right? So you got to be a little cognizant, a little patient on that, I guess. Our cotton fields in the back that we did in the 3 episodes ago, whatever it was, they're doing good. They're looking good. I'm excited about those. We've got to get enough money together here relatively soon, though, to be able to buy the cotton harvester. So that's another expense. That's another $500,000 expense. But I guess the good thing is, you know, with this series, whenever we are ready to end it, right, we can start selling stuff, right? We don't have to have everything that we've purchased. We can sell some of that stuff back to get a little bit of our money back, too, if we need to. Alright, so we're going to put a worker on that. I didn't do it, so we're going to do it now. And I need to move this trailer out of the way. It's in our way. I should not have left it there. I wish this silo complex, or whatever you want to call it, had a different loading and unloading area. You know what I mean? You could drop it in the grate in one location, and then you could unload it from the silo out of the pipe, you know, somewhere else, right? Oh, but oh well. Nothing I can do about it now. The worker is getting pretty close to done, it looks like, so that's really good. Like I said, we got to spray that field still. So that's going to take a minute. Alright, gang, that was a really long time lapse, but we had to get that this field pretty much done. It's not done yet, but we're getting really close for it being done. I think I'm going to have to probably reset the worker here in a minute, or I might just take over, who knows. Now, as far as the remainder here, we've got to herbicide that field, like I said, back there. And then, I said we could potentially just re-drill this field right now. But I want to look at the field next to it and how close it is to being done. May not seem like the smartest play, but I kind of want to maybe wait until this one's ready to harvest, which should probably be not the next episode, but the following one. And then we can combine these fields together, right? Next episode, both of these fields here are going to be ready to harvest, it looks like. So, yeah, I think we're probably going to wait on this field, even though it's probably going to make us lose a little bit of money for, you know, a month or two. I think in the long run it's going to be for the best. So what we might end up doing, though, is prepping this field for the future. So we might go ahead and grab the Tree Devour mod and just get rid of all these trees here. Understanding that I'm not going to get as much money as I would if I waited until later on. I think we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and pick this up. Realistically, we need another trailer to put everything in. So I'm going to attempt, I don't know if it's going to work. This is the weakest tractor we have, right? So I'm going to attempt to hook this up to our big new white trailer there, which holds a lot more, but it may not work. We'll have to see how it goes, I guess. Really, I need to get rid of one of these other tractors and get another one that has more power on it, that has the 3-point attachment on the front, right? Or at least modify one of them to add that. But I don't think any of our tractors can add that to it. I'm just going to leave this here for right now. Which is part of the problem we're kind of dealing with, right? Let's get over there. Let's see if this works. I'm hoping it does. It should, but you never know. All right, here we go. Moment of truth, gang. Let's see if this works. You mean you don't have access to this land? Oh my gosh, this little section in between? No way. No way, we're not allowed to take these out. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Oh, that just ruins everything I had. All the ideas I had, gone. Gone. Can I get any of these? Oh, man. Well, shit. Well, there goes that idea. Well, there goes that idea, gang. That idea is out the window. That sucks. So I guess we're just going to re-drill this one. Since that idea is not going to work. We're going to put canola into this one as well. I just think canola is a good crop to put in. Makes us a decent amount of money. It's going to be in here for a while, which will allow us to get other things done around the farm, which we'll need to do as in the next month or two. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of things to harvest. Now, the soybeans, the good thing about that is the soybeans are best to sell in the middle of the summer. So we've got 2 pretty large fields of soybeans that we're going to be selling and hopefully making a good chunk of money. Hopefully we'll get close to the $1 million mark, or, you know, a little over $500,000 hopefully by then. I'm hoping for 800,000 is really what I'm hoping for. I don't know if we'll get there, given the fact that I purchased this plot of land, but that's what I'm hoping for anyway. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get to the end, and I'm going to throw a worker on this. Now, the worker's not going to do a perfect job on this field. We already know it. It's an awkward-shaped field. But we can at least get the worker doing some of it while I help the worker over there finish doing the harvest. He's missed a couple sections we're going to have to touch up. But that's okay, right? Not a big deal. But unless I go around the headland multiple times here, this worker's definitely going to screw up. It's going to get stuck on trees and these buildings down here. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm going to flip around this way. I think it's just going to be easier for me to line up. Because while I'm getting a little bit better with these articulated tractors, I'm still not the best you've ever seen. That's for sure. Alright, put on a worker. Let's just see. He's going to mess it up, and that's fine. He's full. So we need this guy going. Evidently, I turned the engine off. I swear I don't turn the engine off. I think there's some kind of auto engine off on this, even though I have it turned off. I have the setting turned off in the menu. I feel like it's still, it's still occurring, so... Oh well. Alright, just this little section right here that the worker missed, and this field is done and harvested, and we're actively in the process of drilling it. You can see the worker's not really going where I want him to go, but he'll make his own path, and we'll just touch it up later. Like I said, it's really not that big of a deal. It is what it is, right? Well, who knows which way he's going to go here. Here it is. I went past it, evidently. Now, a member of mine recently, well, not a member, just a subscriber of mine recently told me something pretty interesting that I did not know. I've had this game forever. I don't know if it's always been this way or if it's just an FS22 thing. Evidently, if your machines are damaged by 20%, so your maintenance little mechanic thing up there, you get a lesser yield. I don't know what this worker's doing. I don't know what you're doing, buddy, but we're going to change you up here. I'm just going to have you go this way. No clue what he was doing there. No clue whatsoever. Alright, hopefully the worker doesn't do something stupid, but you never know. That's why we're going to go this way and keep an eye on him. But, what was I saying? Your yield when you harvest evidently is worse if your harvester is damaged 20% or more. That's what I read. I've never tested that before. I didn't even realize that was a thing, but it seems like in the early stages of a playthrough, especially a challenge playthrough where you start with, you know, very limited money, that would be something you'd want to look into, right? Alright, what's he gonna do? What's he doing? What's he doing? Hold on there, Walter. Hold your horses, brother. What is he doing? Please turn and go the right way. He's turning the right way. I think we got it. I think he's okay. For now. He's just not going to go away to the end, but... Alright. I'm going to say he's good. I'm going to say he's good. Double Walters yelling at me. Sorry. Alright. So we've got... about 50 grand in the silo for wheat. So not too bad. What we might end up doing, instead of doing the sheep today, we might actually get some chickens on the farm here. Might be smart for us to get some chickens going here. That's some extra income for us, especially since this wheat's not going to be good for quite a while, right? It's not going to be ready to sell for a number of months. Might be smart for us to get some chickens going, so I think that's what we'll probably do here. But we've got to get the sprayer out here and get the spraying going. There's going to be a lot of work for us to do to clean this section up over here. A lot of work to do. Now, we don't have to spray both fields today, technically. We could spray, you know, one today and spray the other one in the next episode. But like I said, the next episode, I think it's going to be a little busy. I think both of these fields will be ready to harvest. So it's going to be a little busy. Those are pretty large fields. This field over here is gigantic, and then this field is, it's an okay size. I really need to upgrade the harvester, though. We've talked about that, and also somebody else in the comments mentioned that on this series, specifically, because it's Ohio, and most of Ohio is flat, unless you're south like I am. There's some hills down here in the Cincinnati area, but most of Ohio is flat. You probably can get away with some of the bigger headers on this harvester, right? I think the biggest problem is going to be that the harvester just doesn't hold enough, because those headers are just going to fill it up quickly, right? So, I mean, even though we don't have any money, really, and we need to start saving the money here to get to $1 billion to succeed in this challenge series before FS25, we still need to make some upgrades, too, to make our life easier, because the more fields we get, as we've got quite a few now, the longer it's going to take to get all this done. And we have to get $500,000 to buy a... Here's my sprayer. I was going to say, where the hell's my sprayer at? I thought I had left it outside, but I didn't. We have to get $500,000 to be able to get a harvester for the cotton. Now, the cotton, it should, air quotes, I'm doing air quotes even though you can't see it, in theory, make us a ton of money, because we can turn it into clothes, and clothes are a gold mine of money. So, we just need to get some more digestate going as well, right? We need more digestate going here. If we can get more digestate going in here, we can get more of that, we can turn it into solid fertilizer, and we can sell it. We know solid fertilizer is worth a ton of money, because we do that in our 200 horsepower challenge, right? So we know for a fact it's worth a ton of money. We're probably got to fill this up a couple times. We need to get a bigger sprayer too. We just got to get a lot of big. We got to upgrade a lot of things here. Maybe I should not have bought that piece of land. Maybe I should have spent the money on upgrading our equipment. But yeah, we'll make it through. We'll make it through. I'm not that concerned. So what I'm going to do here, gang, is I'm going to do a headland pass like I normally do. Then I'm throwing this on a worker. Our worker's going to do this for us. And then we can try to finish touching up the other field over there, right? Now, we did a really, really long time lapse, and you've seen me spray things many, many times on this series, so probably won't put a time lapse in here. I'll probably just do a little bit of a jump cut when I've got the headland pass done. Then we'll jump over to the other field and try to get the rest of that field drilled. Again, I'm not perfect with those articulate tractors, but I'm going to do the best I can. I'm getting better with them, but still not perfect, so don't yell at me too much. I know I'm pretty bad at driving those things. So I've got a worker going here, and I came across something very interesting, gang, and I keep talking about not spending all of our money, but I think I'm going to. There is a John Deere 8RX series out here in the used market for $188,000. If we sell our Russell Mash, we'll get 154, a little bit more than that after we fix it up. And that'll easily be able to pay for it. We won't have to even spend that much out of our balance. And it'll be much easier than... It's got the tracks on it. I mean, it's the real deal, gang. It's got a 3-point on the front, too, which will only help us, which is I just talked about. It's a little bit less horsepower, but I mean, we can always upgrade it later, right? It's only 15 to upgrade it to more than what the Russell Mash is, and we can get all the way up to 458 horsepower if we want to. Well, goodbye, Russell Mash. It's been a fun few episodes. I will be back, gang. So much for saving some money. I keep saying that, and then about every 2 episodes I go and spend money. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, well, it's done, gang. We actually made money. After we repainted it, serviced it, repainted it, we actually made money in the process. Now, this will need a service. It's probably going to need a lot of services, and in the long run, it might end up costing us more money, but I've never had a tractor with tracks on a series on the channel. At least I've utilized it before, but not on the channel, so I'm excited, man. Look at that. Thing is sweet. This is awesome. Let's get it back. Let's get that field done. Well, we're nearly back, gang, but the tank is empty, so I've got to get this filled back up and get the worker back going on this again. And then we're going to get that field finished as far as drilling goes. That tractor is so nice. It's so much easier to handle and maneuver. I'm so happy we got it. Now, I'm going to have to spend the money, like I said, servicing it, but I brought it all. I'm bringing it. I should say I'm bringing it. It's not all the way back here yet. I'm bringing it all the way back here to service it rather than service it up by the shop because it'll be less expensive to do it here at our own workshop. All right, got the worker back going over there. We're back in the John Deere here, moving along. The only thing I don't see on it, and maybe I can upgrade it, maybe there is the possibility, I didn't really look, honestly, is there's no beacon on the top. That's the only negative I'm seeing so far, but otherwise, this thing is fantastic. It's probably going to cost us the extra amount of money that we got from the Russell Mash after repainting it and servicing it to service this. I'm not worried about the paint. I'm really not. I'm not even going to focus on the paint. I just want to repair it. 6,000. Okay, that's not that much. That's not bad at all. We're still doing okay. Let's get this field drilled, gang. I said we gained money, but really, I guess in the top right corner, we didn't gain money from what we actually started with. But we gained more money than I was expecting, I guess is what I should have said from the Russell Mash, because the repaint cost me a ton of money on that Russell Mash. So once we repainted it, it really buffed up the amount of money we got for the Russell Mash. So let's get this field done, gang. I know we've already done a time-lapse of drilling, well, not drilling, of harvesting the field, the massive field. We didn't do one for drilling. We're going to do a little mini one here. It shouldn't take that long to do the rest of this field, honestly. The field's probably 1/3 of the way done, so it shouldn't take that long to do. So we'll throw a quick one in here. We're going to get this done. And, yeah, we'll see where we're at after everything's done. But this should be so much easier for me to maneuver here. Especially since I'm using a controller. I feel like it's difficult with a controller to use those articulated tractors. They're not nice to controller players. Gang, this field's pretty much done. This tractor is fantastic, man. It is so much easier for me to maneuver and control than that Rossel Mash was, but, I mean, that's just a given. This is just how a standard tractor should control. It's not a... It's all connected together, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not two different pieces. So it's just easier. Anyway, this field is all drilled up. We've got to spray this field. The worker should be done spraying the field over there. Should be. In theory, should be done. But we'll take a look. Hopefully the worker didn't do anything wrong and isn't lost. I haven't heard anything about him being lost, so... we can put this sucker away now. I just noticed something, and somebody might have already told me in the comments. This does have flashing lights on it. They're just very small. See them? I don't know if you can see that or not, but there you go. That's probably a good angle. You can see them flashing. There are flashing lights on it. They're just not big, massive beacons. They're just like LEDs. Little tiny LED links. Little LED lights that are on the top of it. Okay, well, I guess it's better than I thought it was. Alright, never mind. I stand corrected. And look at this. I can back this in so much easier, too. Well, I'm not doing the best of job backing it in, but it is being backed in without hitting anything, so that's good. Man, this tractor is awesome. I love it. I love it. Alright, let's see how the other worker did here. Hey, he got it done. Alright, we're in good shape. There's a little section over here that he missed, but he always misses it, so we're going to go touch that up really quick. And then what I'll probably do is I'll put a worker on the other field, and I'll do whatever the worker misses off camera. We'll get it sprayed, you know, before we move on to the next month. Just won't necessarily be on camera with all of you. Been a productive day. Very good day. We did end up, you know, spending a little bit of money. But I think I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. That other tractor just was giving me so many headaches that when that opportunity presented itself, it just was a no-brainer, right? It was a no-brainer. So let's look at maybe putting some chickens down to end the episode, to close the episode out here. I'm going to fill this up, take it over there, get a worker going on it, and we'll just see how the worker does. Alright, we're probably going to have to do actually most of this. I tried to put it on a worker here, just going on the edge here, and it just started having issues because of the trees. So I'm going to do like a headland pass around the edge here mostly, but I think a lot of this we're going to have to end up doing ourselves, but that's fine. That's fine. Now, as far as the chickens go, I kind of want to do this one, I think. Oop, that's cows. I don't want that one. I want to do this open... air one. We utilize this for our sheep in the 200 horsepower challenge, but this is, I think, the one I want to do for here. It puts 450 chickens down. That's quite a lot. So I think that's the one we're going to utilize. I think that'll be best for us in our current situation. I just got to figure out the location of where I want to put that, right? I think I have an idea. I just don't know if it'll actually work or not. I don't want it to cause any kind of mayhem on the land, right? I don't want to have to do a bunch of landscaping work, right? So, we'll put a worker on that. Let's just see how things go. So the idea of where I wanted to put it, I just got to see if it'll actually work or not. There's not a whole lot of this area that will actually cause any kind of terrain issues, but, you know, I don't want it to be, yeah, see, where I kind of wanted it to, it's going to be too far, and it's overlapping something, so it won't let me put it there anyway, even if I wanted to. So I guess I could put it up here, near the main yard area, right? I guess I could put it there. It says I can put it right here, which would be a little weird because I think part of it would be hanging out in the road a little bit. That's a little bit better. They will be in the way a little bit. They'll be in our neighbor's area that we actually can't buy, so I guess that doesn't really make a difference. It's only $5 grand. Let's put it down. Let's see what happens. Let's see how bad it is as far as the actual ground goes. If we have to do any kind of, oh yeah, oh we're gonna have to do something. I can already see it from here. It is lifted up in the air, but it's only this section down here, so it's actually not too bad. Over here is fine. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. First of all, we need to remove those thingies. I don't want those on there. I don't want the posts on there. Get rid of those posts. Let's see if we can soften this up a little bit and make it a little bit easier on us. I don't want to be too out of proportion, though. I don't want it to be, you know... Alright, there's a little bit of a hill there, and it's going to be kind of in the air a little bit, I guess, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We'll work with that. We'll work with that. So, let's get this, which is why I didn't put all of that wheat in there. And we can go take the wheat over here and get the chickens going. Well, we're probably not going to buy, well, we'll probably buy a decent amount of chickens, but a lot of those chickens that are going to be in there, we're going to let them just reproduce, so we don't have to spend money on them, right? I don't know which side I need to be on here. I have no idea. I guess this one works. I don't know how much food this trough will take. Not much. That's good. So let's get some chickens going then. The worker completed their task, evidently. We want one rooster. We're going to buy... I don't know. 60 seems like a good amount. So 60 chickens, one rooster. So these were producing eggs already. You know what? Let's buy another 60. It's not that much. Perfect. 121 chickens. And we'll obviously get more chickens as time permits. But the chickens are near the house, which is good. You kind of would want your animals to be near your house anyway, right? So if you hear disturbance in the middle of the night, coyotes or something, you can try to make sure they're safe, especially when it's an open air. An open air coop or whatever you want to call it, like that, right? Especially in that sense, because I don't have any protection for them. They're just out running around, so any kind of predator could come and kill them. Alright, but with that, gang, we're going to leave the episode there. Like I said, I will finish touching up the herbicide on the other field that we drilled. But it was a very successful day. Brand new tractor. We've got chickens now. And both those fields have been re-drilled. And the one was harvested, so we've got some wheat in there. We ended up with, after getting the wheat in there, 48,242 liters of wheat. It's good. We can always keep some wheat in there. Or we always will keep wheat or sorghum in there for the chickens. And hopefully they'll produce enough and get us up to 450 pretty quickly. But with that, gang, we're going to leave the episode there. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe if you're new. It's free. Helps me a ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, or ideas, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Thanks so much to our channel members. And as always, I will see each and every single one of you in the next episode.